Hey everyone, welcome back to another Painting with Jay. As always, my name is Jay, so grab a brush, grab some models, grab some paints, and paint along with me. Let's rid our world of unpainted models, shall we? Yes. Today I'm going to work on some Infernus Marines. I'm just going to finish preparing them and start painting them and see how far I can get over the next 45 minutes to an hour, and just talk about life and be thankful. Because Thanksgiving's coming up. Huge shout out to Cody Rue. Adam, you missed a spot. Let's get started. Hey everyone, welcome back. This week I am going to be working on, as I mentioned, some Infernus Marines. I have 7 of them going out of the 10 from the Leviathan box set. The reason is I've saved 3 for maybe some painting tutorials or some review videos. So I'm going to paint up these 7 today, get them all looking good, and life will be good. So I'm going to start off with, I didn't actually finish prepping them for this video, so I figured I'm going to keep working on my prep work. It'll only take a little bit to dry. I'm just going to paint another thin coat of Wraithbone over the areas that I really want to paint out the colors, which is it's a very easy step, right? So I saved a lot of time by airbrushing the greens, but then the only problem with that is then I gotta just, the green is such a dark color, the Dark Angel's green, that I have to then just go over with some Wraithbone or, you know, a light color to get these areas prepped. And that way I can just, you know, it's so much easier just to go over with a light color. So I'm just going to go over with a thin coat as before. And because it's thin, it'll dry pretty quickly. You know, it won't take me very long to get this step done. And all I'm doing here is just painting the guns, the leather, the eyes, you know, anything I want to paint red, essentially. You know, so that's all good. They're coming along. I got I got my squad of Desolation Marines. My 10 Desolation Marines are all finished up. So that's good. That's all good. There we go. So they're all done. So I'm in the home stretch, right? Once I get these guys done, I'm painting. I'm not done it yet, but I'm working on a painting tutorial again. Another speed painting tutorial. I'm almost done it. For the... Oh, wow. What's this called? Don't remember his name. Losing my mind today. That's okay. I feel like I'm getting old. Losing my memory. This guy. My Apothecary Biologist. Yeah, so he's working out. I'm almost finished him. Working on a tutorial. He's about 2/3 done. But I've only spent about 20 minutes on him, so it's not bad. He turned out really nicely, I think. And, yeah, so after this, he'll be done soon, and these guys will be done soon, which will bring me to 41 of my 50 total Dark Angels, my Operation Glow Up models. It's pretty cool. 41 of them, so it's 82%. Not bad at all. I'm well on my way to finishing them up. I don't know if I'll have them done by the end of the month. I'll probably go into a little bit into November. That's okay. You know, it's a soft goal. I totally made a mistake on this guy, and I'm willing to admit it. I glued his hand up here when it was supposed to be down here, and now his top fingers are touching the gun bottom. That's pretty funny. Adam, you missed a spot. By the way, I have received confirmation. I don't think Adam watches these videos anymore. But either way, I don't care. I'm going to try to prevent Adam from missing a spot. Yeah. So just going through these. And of course, as always, huge shout out to Cody Rue. Cool. What else? Space Marine Codex is now up for pre-order. I'm going to make a couple more videos about Space Marines. I've actually been filming a bit. I've just had no time to edit. So I've been really, it's been a busy week. Really tiring, to be honest. So I'm hopefully going to get some editing and rendering done. You know, I have a couple videos more for this week that I really want to get up. Yeah. So I've definitely been working on videos still. Don't worry, I'm not cutting down my videos. I've already put out 30 videos since getting back. That's awesome. Seeing as I only put out like 13 the previous whole edition. And we're only months into this edition. And I'm well on my way. I don't know why I'm painting that part. I think it's going to be silver. Whatever. I'll paint it anyway. Better overpaint than underpaint it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be red. That's okay. It looks really sloppy at the beginning. I will admit it. My technique is just, you know, putting Wraithbone on these parts, which just allows me to then hit it with some darker colors. But you'll see, like, it goes really quickly, and then it dries really nicely. I love it. Yeah, love it. What else? They're coming along well. As I said, oh, of course, I just saw rumors today. Of course, I've seen rumors about the next, you know, Space Marine Codex is of course out for pre-order. One of the next future big codices down the road is going to be Dark Angels, and they're going to come out with all new Deathwing Knights and new Deathwing commands. What I've heard, and I'll have to get them. We'll see. Maybe use the old ones. By that point, I'll be done. My goal will hopefully be done. I'll be long done Tyranids, which will probably be my next army that I'm painting my glow up for, because just the other half of the Leviathan set. And I'll be on to my next project by that point, hopefully. If everything goes smoothly. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep painting. I'm going to keep doing these painting with Jays as long as I can, because I love it. I just like to set aside some time, get these models done, get them on the tabletop. My pile of shame, or whatever we call it these days, is getting smaller by the day, which is really good. You know, I've been playing a couple games with some of my new models. I love them. I'm having fun. I've definitely enjoyed this edition more than the last edition. I have. It's not perfect. It's not perfect yet. I do like the fact that GW is actively trying to balance. You know, I played a game with Gene Stealer cults as well, and since their update, wow, most of my squads did not come back. It was interesting. Definitely changed up my strategy. Cool. There we go. All right, so there. I'm gonna let them dry for a second. It won't take them. Just take a moment to let them dry. And I'm going to start painting some areas. So, because the one area I didn't need to shade, the one area I didn't need to hit with Wraithbone is the black areas. So I'm just going to start painting with black. Where's my black? There it is. I'm going to use Black Templar. Paint the gaps in the armor while the other colors dry. And then as you can see, the the other colors just kind of come together. And that's what I love. I love this method of using speed paints. I admit that I do say the word slap chop too much, so I'm going to stop saying it as much. I got called out in a video, and it's true. But I love this technique. You know, just using the speed paints effectively. To me, the end product is good. I like my end product. I'm happy with my end product. You know, I don't think it's bad at all. And to me, it leads me to a reasonable amount of time. I'm an army painter, right? I'm not a individual model award-winning painter. So, to me, it gives me the amount of time that leads to a good result. Makes me happy, right? That's awesome to me. That really makes me happy, you know? And I love it. As I said, I'm not going to complain. To me, it's just the amount of time. It looks good. My army is going to look good in the end. It's going to look decent. And it's going to look good on the tabletop. Let me just make sure this is in focus. I think it is. It's just hard to tell when all these models are in front of each other. There we go. For the first time in a very, very long time, my previous painting with Jay got a downvote. And I was like, who downvotes a painting with Jay? They're not very controversial videos. They're always the same quality. I just rant. I don't know, maybe I offended someone. I have no idea. I don't think I'm a very offensive person. My viewpoints on being happy and content, painting models, ridding our world. Maybe somebody did not want to rid their world of unpainted models. Maybe that was it. It took offense to me ridding my world of unpainted models. I have no idea. But I thought I've gotten plenty of downvotes over the years, but I can't remember the last time I got a downvote on a painting with Jay. That was like, wow, someone actually downvoted my painting with Jay. Happens. Let's make sure I didn't miss that same. Nope. His gun's in his hand. Yeah, I was like, oh, that happens. But yeah, we've done 82% of my painting challenge, and then I'm gonna maybe next week dreads. I've got a couple of def dreads. Not def dreads. Dread nuts. I used them out both in a game. It was fun. I tried out some of the new rules that I got from some source, and I liked it. I actually had a lot of fun. I used them when I played the quote unquote what's called the Anvil Siege Horse, the quote unquote Imperial Fists detachment. I had a lot of fun. It was fun. I just didn't. It really forced me to either decide, should I move and get the benefit. It reminded me of the reason why I chose that one specifically is because it reminded me of one of the Dark Angels detachments from the past. So, and I put together a gun line and had some fun. The changes. Oh, right there. Dropped the model like it's hot. I missed a spot. I pulled an atom. I'm going to fix that as we're talking. So, we clearly are talking. So, what I noticed was, of course, that the big changes to, the change to Oath of the Moment really impacted my game. Things did not die as easily. Nope. So, that's okay. It wasn't just a point-and-click death. It made me, think about my list and ways that I can mitigate the not dying. And the reason is, Oath of the Moment was powerful, but the strength of Oath of the Moment was really on the to-wound roll, in my opinion. It wasn't on the to-hit roll, because Space Marines can hit, right? I know sometimes it's -1 to hit, stealth's an effect or something, but Space Marines can hit, right? Space Marines can hit. But in this edition, things don't normally wound. Wound rolls have never been harder, especially against Oath of the Moment is against a target that you really need to die. So it's usually something hard to hit or hard to wound. Hard to wound, typically. Like something at high toughness. Toughness 12, 13, 14. You really want to go for your opponent's best units, right? And a lot of the time that's a very high armor value. And so Space Marines didn't have a problem hitting it. Like, I could shoot it and hit it easily. But it was the to wound roll. This brush is really splitting. I'm going to have to clean it. The to wound roll was the hard one. And that's where I really felt the Oath of the Moment was really powerful. And they took away the to wound roll, they put in the to hit roll. They kept the to hit roll. To me, if I was to balance the rule, I would have actually done the opposite. I would have kept the to wound roll. I would have tried it with you got to keep the to wound roll reroll, but not the to hit roll reroll. Because to me, that is a nerf because you're taking away the to hit roll, right? And you're keeping the to wound roll, so it's an intermediate result. I found that in most times where I was shooting at this desired target, I didn't even really need the to hit roll reroll. I think I used it a lot with Hellblaster Squad, but again, I was standing still, right? So with this, if you stand still, you're hitting on 2s, most things. So 5 out of every 6 shots on average would end up hitting, but very few would wound. So I don't honestly feel that the new Space Marines Codex is going to be a meta breaker, and I think that's okay. That's a good thing. I'm okay with that. I don't think GW should, and I think they're going to in this edition, but GW isn't going to. I really hope they don't come out with meta breaker after meta breaker and codex creep. I'm okay with this if each one gets their flavor, and if I can take Space Marines to a tournament and have a 50-50 chance of winning, on average, that's cool. That's cool. I don't care. I don't like punching my opponent in the face. Metaphorically, I don't. You know me. I would never be violent. But I don't like my opponent also beating me into the ground as well. So I like fun, balanced games, especially tournaments. But I don't play the win-at-all-cost gaming tournaments. I tend to go to more fun tournaments, have a good time, meet people, make friends, enjoy life. So I'll see. I don't see a lot of, maybe again the combination isn't that evident to me, but Space Marines, I don't think they have that break the meta style. The one thing I do feel, and I should make a video on this actually, is that the Divergent chapters are better in every way, pretty much. Maybe the only exception is maybe Ultramarines. I don't think there's a point in taking most standard chapters in this edition. So I don't think there's a point in taking White Scars. I don't think there's a point in taking... Definitely not Imperial Fists. I'm not taking my Imperial Fists right now. I don't think there's a point in taking probably Iron Hands and Raven Guard. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But right now, since the other chapters like Dark Angels here can take... I need some Skeleton Horde now. Since the chapters like Dark Angels can take all the rules from the Codex Space Marines, right? And so can, Space Wolves and Blood Angels and Death Watch. There's no real downside to taking and plus these guys get their own, detachment as well, which Space Marines don't. So essentially everything Space Marines get, Dark Angels get, right? But not vice versa. Dark Angels get their own detachment that Space Marines don't. And Dark Angels get the Lion, Dark Angels get Belial, and Azrael, Samael, all the Ales people, and Space Marines don't. And Dark Angels get Knights. They get Deathwing Knights, and they get Ravenwing Knights, right? And Space Marines don't. So the only benefit of the Space Marine chapter that you're going to take is characters, which, let's call a spade here. Some of the chapters don't really have a lot of characters, i.e. White Scars, which right now don't have a lot of models, period, because there's nothing that's really on bikes. Dark Angels have more biked units than White Scars, right? Because White Scars only have the 3 basic ones. And so you can take Trocero Khan as a White Scar player, but you can't take many bikes. You can take 3 squads of Outriders, and that's it. 3 chaplains on bikes. Ooh, you know, that's your army. So there's no downside other than you lose so in exchange for those couple characters, again, White Scars have 1 character. Imperial Fists have like 3. They have Lazarus. They have, Lysander. The other guy, but no, Lazarus is Dark Angels. Never mind. They have the other guy. Sorry, I'm forgetting his name. So in exchange for giving up those 2 characters, you get all those other units. Take Space Wolves. You get the Wolfen. Rune Priests and all the cool Wolf Guard. Like, you know what I mean? Like all the Thunderwolf Cavalry. Awesome. They have characters. They have units. Blood Angels, characters, units. Deathwatch, characters and units. Deathwatch are actually arguably the strongest Space Marine faction right now. So there's really a tiny downside to sacrifice to go to one of these other chapters, is that you lose the character of your cool army. Like, again, you can't take Orsero Khan, or you can't take Lysander, but you gain so many more options overall. And I think that's an interesting take, and I wonder if GW's doing it intentionally or unintentionally. But the stronger they make Space Marines, the stronger they're going to make all these other chapters. Now, the only thing is, of course, eventually the other chapters will become stronger than each other when they get their individual codices, because they're the only ones who get access to these specific rules. They're the only ones who have these specific models. But GW has kind of made it to the point where, like, again, if I'm bringing an army to a tournament, I'm not bringing Imperial Fists. I'm going to bring my Dark Angels, because I want to take some fun units. I want to bring the Lion, and I don't really care about forfeiting Lysander. That's just it. So I'm going to make a video about this, I think, because I don't really know if anybody's going to watch this video specifically for this talk, but that's just my thoughts. Just my thoughts. Now I'm going to use some hardened leather from Ski Paint and paint the leather areas. Now, back to actually my target. I sometimes think about what I'm going to talk about before these videos. Sometimes I don't, to be honest. I just like to kind of turn on the camera and rant. But this week's theme has to be a huge thank you to all of y'all in internet land. Because I just can't thank you enough for the support that you've given me over the years. Most of the people who do I know, so I keep track of the people who leave comments, and I keep track of the people who watch certain videos, and the highest number of returning, so most of my videos are, especially the new batch, like the last 30 videos that I've made, it's almost entirely new viewers. To the point where I'm kind of wondering what happened, maybe, like, where are the other, 30,000 people? But The only video series that it's all returning people are Painting with Jays. And I know why. Because this is our group. Like, I talk, but we paint together. And we rid our world of unpainted models. And my returning viewers get it. And they see the value in this. And in fact, you know, when I asked a survey question just after I decided to come back and make some videos. I said, hey, what video series should I bring back? Number one by far, Painting with Jay. One of the comments, and you know who you are, that person's going to be watching this video today, left comments in one of my videos just saying, hey, you should make videos again. And I was like, you know what, I really should. And it wasn't solely because of that, but it really did impact me. And so I have to thank you all more than anybody, because I know y'all have been the ones supporting me, and I can't thank you enough. And once again, the reason for thanks is in Canada, this weekend is Thanksgiving. Sorry, American friends, your Thanksgiving's in a month and a half away. But in Canada, we celebrate Thanksgiving before Halloween. We're weird. But it's okay, it breaks up. This brush is really splitting too. Wow, brutal. I'm going to clean up my brushes later and do some, see if I can mold them back into shape. But it's Thanksgiving this weekend. So, of course, I bought a turkey. It's currently thawing. I cook a mean turkey, by the way. I've developed my turkey recipe over the last 20 years. And yes, I've actually been cooking turkeys that long. I'm old. But it's Thanksgiving, which hence the expression, it's a time to reflect. And I do find myself always doing that. I drive a lot for my job, and I find myself reflecting a lot. And obviously it's a beautiful time of year. The leaves are changing. Autumn's here. I'm really starting to feel it. I think another like 3 or 4 weeks and it'll be snowing here probably. I do live in Canada after all. And I'm gonna switch brushes. This brush is really splitting too much, but that's okay. Grab my... Oh. Did my brush fall? How can I paint with Jay if I don't have my paintbrush? I was just cleaning off my table a moment before filming here today, and I knew I picked up my brush. Okay. I'll grab a different brush then. No, that's a little too large of bristles. Alright, let's go back to this one. I don't know where my brush went. Huh. Well, that happens. Jay loses his brush as he talks about Thanksgiving. What's up with that? It's a time to give thanks. To think about our lives and just to give thanks. And I really am thankful for y'all. You know, I'm not going to get rich off this YouTube channel. Surprise. Like, I'm okay with that. I'm happy, and I'm just going to keep making videos. And my goal is to just keep going. Make better content for you all, and hopefully content that people appreciate. You know? But I am thankful. It's been I've had a great year. Honestly, it's been a good year. Like, it's been a year that I could look back on and reflect on and go, yeah, you know what? I've had a lot of really good times. I've made videos. I've made 30 videos so far this year. My goal is to have 50 by the end of the year, which is easy. I should be, well over 50 videos since starting to make videos again. It's been a great year. I've made some friends. I've gotten some games in. I played some golf. I relaxed. I'm in a good place, and I know not everyone, and I know not everyone is in as good of a place as me, mentally or, but that's life. Like you all have been with me for years, and you've seen me at my highest highs and my lowest lows, and it's just good to stop sometimes and appreciate the fact when you're in a good spot. And you hope that you can just carry this goodness and this momentum forward. You know? I'm really happy where I live. I'm happy to be here in Atlantic, Canada. I miss my friends sometimes, but maybe one day they'll come visit me. I'll go visit them again. But yeah, it's been a great year, and I'm hoping to have a good autumn. You know, just relaxing and keep painting. Luckily, another month or two, I don't want to go outside much more, so I'll be painting even more and more than ever. Winter is kind of the catalyst for me. I usually get most of my painting done in the winter, but so far lately I've been painting like a lot. You know, now in the summer and the fall. My goal is to have the Tyranids done in the near future. I'll probably pick up one of those. Some of the new models. We'll see. Oh. When did I paint him? Maybe first. Cool. Done. Pre-done. Love it. So, as I said, thank you. And I am thankful for people in my life. And the times. And just, yeah. I really hope, like, if next year's as good as this year, life's good. It really is. Life's good. You know, and it's the appreciation. And obviously I have some ambition in life. I do want to keep moving in certain directions. Oh, this is the part I wanted to stop. I had a reminder to myself that I really wanted to look up one part of these Marines. Oh, it is that color, actually. Okay. Okay, cool. So, I'm even grateful for my hidden brush, wherever it is. I think it fell. I dropped some paintbrushes earlier. There it is. Called it. I'll use that brush. Yeah, so I want to say thank you. That's the beginning. I do always try to move forward through life with a grateful heart, but it's hard sometimes. It is. I find I have a lot of friends who are just not necessarily Debbie Downers, but they're always reaching for something more. The grass is always greener on the other side, and I've really just tried to make an adamant, a conscious effort to stop that, because the people who are always after that sometimes are the least happy. Now, sometimes they're the most successful. I'll give them that. Like, I have some successful friends that they're successful, but they never seem happy. And so, yeah. You know? In fact, I'm not going to say any names. I'm not calling anyone out, but if you watch the YouTube videos sometimes of the more successful people in our niche, or in general, sometimes they don't seem so happy. They seem stressed. You know? They don't seem happy. And seriously, I've had the most fun ever. This is honestly, I maybe because it's back to that, you know, that feeling again, but I've been loving making videos again. It's been so much fun. And I look forward to this time in the day where I can just relax and make some videos and share some time with y'all in internet land. It really feels good. I'm benefiting enough that I don't have the pressure. Like right now, I don't know if my channel's ever really going to get monetized. We'll see. At this rate, I did the math. It should probably be monetized by maybe next year. But that doesn't matter. Like, again, I'm not making much money. It's all good. I'm not doing this for money. Just doing it. Also, it keeps me busy. It's a nice, fun hobby. But Look at that. I'll clean up the leg after too. But look, in front of your eyes, like the models are coming to life. This is really easy. These are really easy models, of course. But I'm going to silver, bronze, some washes. These guys are easy. They're a very good starter model. Space Marines are the easiest. I love them. I find Space Marines using contrast paints to me are easily so much more fun and so much easier to me than Necrons. And I know Necrons are just metallics, but I find metallics to be boring. They don't come to life as much as these Space Marines. And I don't know. I've had more fun painting Dark Angels using contrast paints than I've had in a long time. Maybe I love painting the Orc army that I've had. But these have been really fun. Which is good. It keeps me painting. Yeah. What else? Yeah, I'm thankful. That's good. I am thankful, which is good. I like that. I like to be thankful. And I'm thankful that I can just make some videos and have some fun right now, and as long as I can, and go from there. I'll be away. I'm going on a little trip later this month. So I'm thinking I might film like 5 Painting with Jays or 5 nights for that. And just do 5 Painting with Jays, all with the same models, and just finish them up over the week. We'll see. These guys are fun. Yeah, I've really enjoyed them. I feel like contrast paints were designed for Space Marines. I feel as well that there's some YouTubers that are really kind of like trying to step on the whole technique deemed slap chop method. I'm kind of annoyed by it, actually. I'm not saying any names again. I'm not throwing anyone under the bus. I'm not going to start a YouTube war. I'm not going to win it. But I've noticed that several YouTubers are really trying to squash the movement. They're like, well, don't use the slap chop method. My method's better. Don't use the slap chop method. My method's better. That's what there's so many videos of this. Slap chop, but better. I took slap chop to the next level. Most of it's just slap chop, as they say, but it's all just glazing, right? Using a thin down paint. It's a method that's existed for many years, but just coined with the phrase, and we're glazing, right? We're pre-highlighting and glazing. It's a old technique, which is cool, but I find that a lot of I'm not going to say the snooty YouTubers, but some of the higher end painters, I feel like they're offended by how easy it is to use this technique, or they're not happy. Now, I know in a lot of cases they don't want to use it themselves. They're bored with this. They don't see the experience out of it. They paint to a higher standard, right? They're not army painters. They're model painters, and they are very good painters. I'm giving them full credit. Like, they're great painters, these people who are anti this technique. And I find that that's maybe why they don't see the value in it, is that they don't feel what it's like to look down at a pile of shame where you have 200 gray models that need to be painted, or a tournament coming up. And they're also, I'm going to call a spade here, they're better painters than me. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to hide that for a moment, right? They're better painters than me. But I'm just tired of the videos that are really stepping on the technique. I think there's been so much value to me and to the community and to what Games Workshop and the other companies have created, that I feel that I could be wrong, but I feel contrast paints have been the biggest game changer in paint products in the hobby that I can recall ever. the impact that I see at tournaments, and I can tell, like you can tell, like I can tell by looking at these models that I used contrast paints, right? A little bit. I love the greens. They look awesome. But you can tell a slap-chopped quote-unquote army at a tournament, and they look good. I'm happy with that. If an opponent brought a contrast painted army and put it in front of me in a tournament, I would vote painting scores, right? I wouldn't, maybe not best painted army. You know, we have people who spend thousands of hours on their armies. Cool. But I wouldn't be upset. I wouldn't be offended. I would be happy to play against any of those people. And I feel that some of the higher end painting YouTubers really just don't appreciate the method. And it could just be my mindset versus them. But I watched a video the other day. I'm not going to say who. You'll probably know. And it was like, great. Like, here's this method. And again, this person has made like 5 videos of like, hey, don't use the quote-unquote slap chop method. Use this method. Use this method. Use this method. My method's better. My method makes you learn as you paint. And I'm sorry, like, I feel people could learn as they paint this technique. You're keeping your paint clean. You are learning glazing and basic highlighting. You are painting an army quickly, which gives you the feeling of accomplishment, and that way you can keep going. You highlight, and you can still work with highlights. Like, to me, I feel like I've gotten a better painter just by, I feel it's given me experience. And it's also allowed me to learn ways of making my painting more effective, more efficient, more fun. Right? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? But, I don't know. That's just me. You know? But I want you guys, please leave comments in the comment section down below of what you're thankful for, of course. And what do you think of this contrast speed painting method? You know? Do you like it? Do you use it? Are you bored of it? Do you feel it's a cheater's way out? I don't. You know, I've painted 2,000 miniatures since I've started making videos. You guys have seen my painting with J's. How many models have I painted in my painting with J's? And I use this technique and I love it. And it makes me happy. So, I see nothing wrong with it. That's my opinion, of course. And my opinion doesn't mean much. Right? Your opinion matters to you. And I do care about your opinions, obviously. Heck, I was inspired to make videos again based on one of the opinions of one of the people who's going to comment on this video. I know you. I know you're going to leave a comment. And I'm happy with that. I respect your opinions. But I'm just kind of curious. What do you think? You know? And obviously not all the contrast paints are created equal. But I love this stuff. Like, in this 45-minute video so far, I've finished preparing the miniatures. And again, I've spent a total of, 30 seconds, maybe a minute on each miniature before this video. And I'm already done the reds, the base coat red, right? The base coat bone colors, the base coat browns, and I'm going to do the silver. It's like after this video, I'm just going to do the silvers, the brass, and then highlight backwards. That's what I like to do. I like to paint. I have a color set in my head of the areas that I paint in one direction, so I call it painting forwards, and then I just go backwards with my highlights. And I work back to the starting color. So the last color I always highlight is the armor, right? The majority color, because I can use that as a final cleanup color. And then I'm done. These guys will be 100% done for next week's Painting with Jay. And then next week, I'm going to start, I'm done all my units, right? All my squads, my squads are going to be done. So then it's time to paint. All I've left is, for my painting challenge, 2 dreadnoughts. The Ballistari one, and the Brutalis one. And I'll paint those up probably next week. I gotta hit with a. I gotta go pick up a matte. Not a matte. Satin varnish. And they will take me probably a week or so. Those are 2 of the remaining 9 models. Then what I have left, I have a Captain in Terminator armor, who I've just kind of started, painted a couple quick colors on. I guess I was, basing him with the Terminators. And I have what I have left. Let's take a look. I have the remaining 3 guys that I'm going to save for some tutorials or videos. I'll paint them over the next month or 2, like again, the next few weeks. This guy. I don't know what I'm going to do with the colors for his red. You know what? Let's do leather and silver. Let's just do red guns. So I have a Captain Terminator armor. I have 2 lieutenants. One from the Augustus Strike Force set. And one from the Leviathan box set. So that's 2 lieutenants, which, come on. No, I'm not going to use lieutenants. But that's okay. They're going to be painted. I'm just never going to probably use them. Maybe I'll go through the rules in the codex, see if they're justifiable. As far as characters go, captains are good. Chaplains, I think, are always the one I'm going to probably pick up, which annoys me that I'm going to do it because I'm working on my painting challenge, is I really do want to get a chaplain in Terminator armor. So I might pick up the new model. I'm not the biggest fan of the model itself. Now, it does come with the helmet, the skull helmet. I've seen that, obviously, they're in the pre-orders, the pictures. But I'm just... to buy another model in the middle of my painting challenge annoys me. But I think I need it. It would be a good addition for my Space Marine, for my Dark Angel army. I do run a lot of Terminators, so having a Chaplain Terminator armor would help them hit a little harder, and would be a cheaper option than Belial. Belial adds precision, but I think it would just be a nice, easy, cheap option. So this guy, I didn't paint any of the leather on this guy. Let's do that. I still have some to paint in my palette. Nope. I missed a miniature. Adam would be very upset with me right now if he was watching. If any of you know Adam, tell him. Cool. Shall we put a little more on that? Switch brushes here. Cool. I'm going to go see my favorite artist. His name's Donovan Woods. He's a Canadian indie artist. I haven't seen him in years in concert. So he does sometimes shows with bands, like with a band. Sometimes just does like live acoustic shows. And I'm going to go see him do a live acoustic show. That'll be next Saturday, so I'm really looking forward to that one too. I think I was the very first person to buy tickets. I could be wrong. I got him in one of the first. I was super excited when they announced it, so that's awesome. As I said, I find that the older I get, the less I want, the less I need. which is a weird feeling. But, you know, like I do need to buy sometimes. Like obviously, I find myself not all the time. I'm not free of temptations of items or something. Like I need a new cell phone, for example, because my cell phone is dying. You know that point where you hit with your cell phone, where like if you don't, your cell phone's not plugged in after like 40 minutes, you've gone down from 100 to 10%. I'm kind of there. I've had this phone for years. I try to keep my phones for between 3 to 4 years. I had this one for I think just under about 3.5 years. I'm pretty sure 3.5 years. So it's made its money. There we go. Cool. Oh, and in case you're wondering, I don't know if anybody saw this. I do have a little bit of green spot on every base. So I've been just using, for the basing, I've been using astrogranite debris, and I leave a little bit of green because I'm going to be putting some dead grass block right there. So I'll dry brush a texture, and then I'll, in the end it looks like this. This is the finished heavy shadowing. But yeah, cool. So we're at 50 minutes now. Unfortunately, I've kind of hit a wall. This might be where I'm going to end tonight because it's going to take a little bit for the reds to dry, and then I'm going to do the silvers. Yeah, a lot of the colors are wet right now, so there's nowhere really to go. So I'm just going to end here. So that concludes another Painting with Jay. Once again, huge thank you to all you people in internet land for painting along with me. I really do hope you're having a great time, that you're thankful for what's in your life that's positive, and that you're ridding your world of unpainted models. You know, I'm slowly finishing up my painting challenge. After this week, I hope to be done about 40 of the 50 models, which is great. And then I'm going to go from there. Just keep painting, right? I get these characters knocked out of the way and the dreadnoughts, and then start painting the really fun characters and see how long it takes me. But enjoying it the whole time. So stay tuned for more Painting with Jays. Stay tuned for more videos in general. Please like the video, comment in the comment section down below, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Until next time, this is Jay saying happy painting with me.